Hey guys, and welcome to our second Q&A video. I've done one last year. If you guys haven't seen that, I put the link in the description below so you guys can check that out. But this is now the second one. The majority of the questions I've received this time is actually from my good friends on Amino, an app where you can pretty much do anything that you love and share what you love with a bunch of different subsections. Like if you love anime, if you love television, if you love movies, if you love this and that. There is a little section for it where a whole bunch of fans can gather to talk, chat, post images, and etc. etc. I am the leader and owner of the Funko Amino. We have over 9,300 members, and pretty much it's a great place where you can share your collection, talk new stuff, and pretty much make new friends. So on there, when I made the post, I've received an overwhelmingly a bunch of questions, so let's get started right away. First question is from the Random Chip 27. He actually has two questions. His first question is, if you could own one prototype or canceled pop, which would it be and why? The second question is, would you rather own a model used in a stop-motion film, like Kubo, Coraline, Wallace and Gromit, or a choice of a pop of your own choice? If I could own one prototype, I guess it would be like maybe the Rocky one, so that I can like actually have it, and then I can like paint it myself, so I can like actually have it. Because that thing is already impossible as it is to get. Maybe the prototype would actually be worse. And regarding the second question about the model, I would honestly love to own a model of the boat that Monkey, Kubo, and Beetle go on, where it's like all made out of paper and everything. That would be like an impressive piece to own. And if you watch the behind the scenes of that movie, it's so fascinating how they create sets just like as tall as their kneecaps and everything. It's crazy. We got two more questions from a second person. We got Sticky Pops 45 asking, where do you see yourself in the next 3 years when it comes to pop collecting? Honestly, I think I still see myself collecting. Like, I have a pretty good passion with some of this stuff, and I've met so much good people with this that I honestly can't see myself letting it go. The second question he asked is, what if Funko never became a thing, what kind of things would you be interested to collect? Well, to be honest, I've been collecting for quite a while now. Not pops, but I've been collecting other things. I've been collecting a huge collection of horror movies, rap albums, I have a couple of plushes and whatnot. I even have some manga as well. But with those are things that people normally buy, books, movies, CDs. I never actually got collectible. So this is like the first time where I'm really expanding with like vinyl figurines. So if I was never really interested in Funko to begin with, I guess I would just continue the horror movies and animation and all that, because that's how I was for like the past 7 years until I got the pops. Third question comes from Platinum Sky. He says, if you worked for Funko, which department would you work at and why? I would honestly love to be in the designing course where they, design concept art and sculpts and whatnot and then send them to the sculptors so that they can actually make them. Because I've drawn so many pops into drawings that I could honestly see myself, some of them realistically being pops. Next comes from That Pop Guy. He says, will you do a custom pop of yourself? I actually drew one. Well, not really drew one. You know how on the Funko website they have that pop yourself thing where you can make your own avatar? I did that, I guess. But I never actually tried drawing myself. Maybe I will. I don't know. The Mayor, also known as SkyCookie247, says, if Funko stopped making pops, which kind of collectibles, don't need to be made by Funko, would you collect and why? If they weren't so damn expensive, Nendoroids. I really like Nendoroids. I have the Tracer one from Overwatch, and I really like it a lot. The problem with these things are they're always expensive. They're like $60 a piece, and that's too much for just one figure. I mean, I'll be only like, what, 4 per year or something? Because that's way too much. But yeah, those for sure. Funko Collector Renzo says, if Funko would stop making one brand, what would you choose? I'm gonna have to say they're plushes. Every time I go to the stores, I see them like a pile of just plushes everywhere. They just don't sell, and I don't know, it just kind of looks like a waste of space and money to me. So I guess maybe the plushes, because I mean they're cute looking and everything, but they don't have legs, and it's just, I don't know. I know the appeal is that they stand up on their own and all that, but I guess those. Cheshi Cheddar YT says, if you can get rid of one ad icon pop, what would you be? I would say the Noid. I don't think he should have been made to a pop. I mean, he wasn't really popular. No one really liked him back in the day. So, I guess maybe he was made just for, like, nostalgic reasons. So, I guess that, because he is pretty annoying. Buttons TVJ says, what's the hardest you've worked for a pop? This guy right here. Tails. I definitely worked the hardest for him. Asked for a loan for my father, and I paid him off $100. Then I realized he was coming from Indonesia, and it was going to take, like, 25 days to get to the house. And I was like, great, I gotta wait all that time. But I also wanted to pay my father back because I just took $100 for him like that. I just felt bad about it. So I decided to sell some things, to make that money back to give it to him. for some reason, it was completely agonizing to try to get people to want to buy things. It was like, I'm okay with selling, but I just wasn't getting any buyers, and I really wanted to pay off my father, so I really had to, like, push around and find things to sell and talk to people and this and that and this, and it was crazy. But yeah, this guy for sure was annoying, and especially the long wait was pretty bad too. But he came in great shape, it's legit, so can't complain. Talking Toe says, what is your favorite movie? By genre, let me see. Comedy, it would have to be Airplane. Horror, it would probably have to be the original Friday 13th, though there's a lot of good contenders as well. For animation, it's definitely Bambi. I just consider that movie art. But I have a lot of favorites as well. For, like, superhero genre, it probably Infinity War. Yeah, that movie's fantastic. And for, like, a fantasy epic, I'd say Lord of the Rings, for sure. I just recently saw, all three of those movies and all three of the Hobbits, and they're fantastic as well, so... yeah, I'd say those are some of my favorite movies. Obviously, I have a lot more to list, but if I had to choose one of them, then probably those. Udals2 asks, new question. The one I asked was already in the comments. If you could rename Funko, what would it be? I honestly don't know. I'm really thinking hard, but it's not coming to me. I would say Wacky Wobble. Mudkip Fan 2006 says, would you ever sell all of your collection? I wouldn't say the entire collection. Like, there's a couple that I'll definitely keep, forever, pretty much. Like this Judy Hopps, for instance, since she's like my favorite one. Maybe not the entire collection, but eventually, like maybe a couple years down the road, or who knows. A lot of them are gonna have to go because I need the money, I need space, Space is like one of the more important things, I guess. Dakota says, which franchise, movie, game, etc. do you want Funko to make pops of? Definitely for a movie, I still stand by what I said in my last Q&A. I would love Terminator pops. I would love Harry riding on Buckbeak from Harry Potter. If they can do Ron riding on one of the chess pieces at the end of the Philosopher's Stone, then, I mean, come on. You could definitely do Harry riding on Buckbeak. For a video game, definitely some Earthbound. If you guys can do freaking Pikachu from Pokemon, you can do Ness or Lucas from Earthbound and Mother 3. I mean, look at them. They look like pops. Why not? Next question is from Kately Rajaz. He says, have you made any custom pops yet? I guess this. I received this Tiffany chase, and the blood paint was just absolutely terrible. So, as you can see here, I kind of applied my own. It's a little bright red. It's supposed to be a little darker than that, but I did my best to replicate the way the Glam Shot blood paint, splats look like. And I think I made it look better. I mean, because the blood paint was like barely even there. You had to squint just to see the blood. It was terrible. Next question is from Funko Prince, who says, how and where do you get most of your pops? I like to go to eBay a lot because there's a lot of good prices, as long as you look at the right sellers and not shipping from freaking China. But yeah, I mostly go there. I mostly go to Hot Topic because they always have their buy 3 for $27 deal. And on top of that, you can add points to your VIP guest list, so you can save more money on top of that. And yeah, I also like just going to other stores. Target is starting to step their game up a bit, so is Walmart. So they're also great places with great prices. But yeah, I'd say eBay and Hot Topic. Those are my two favorite spots. Fantastic says, out of all your chases, which one is your favorite? I'm going to have to go with either the Magnet Missile Chase or the Flocked Remy. These two are just really good favorites of mine. Deku0517 says, why are you called the Funko Frog? Last year I watched The Princess and the Frog for the first time, and I really like the character of Tiana, so I decided to use her as a frog as my profile picture. For some reason it just kind of stuck. I just decided to use that profile picture, and I decided, you know what? Let me just do something silly. Let me adapt a persona for myself. So I just named myself the Funko Frog as a username. Just, it started off as just that, a username. But I just became adapted into that, and that's how it all went from there. Next question is from Freddie Mercury, who says, what bands, artists would you like to see as pops? Definitely Queen. I know it's already coming, Funko already announced it, but I'm really glad that they're doing that because I absolutely adore Queen. But another band I would really like to see, Pink Floyd. As for artists, they're also doing Eminem, which is like my favorite rapper, so thank God they're doing that. But I would also love to see Big Pun and Kendrick Lamar. Those are two of my other favorite rappers. Next question is from the Funko Collector, who says, what is the most unusual pop in your collection, and what makes it unusual? I guess either Bats Maru here or Kurobi, because they don't really look like pops at all. They just look like chibier versions of how they already look like. So I guess maybe these, because you can pretty much pass these off as just vinyl figures, and people will not guess that it's actually a Funko Pop. X Vintage Retro asks, if you have a choice to make any character turn into a pop, which character would it be? For My Hero Academia, I would definitely like Mount Lady, because I think they could really translate that well into like a 6-inch, since her power is her turning gigantic. And again, I still say to this day, I would love Amy Rose. Level 100 Nerd asks, if you had the money to buy any pop you wanted, what would it be? Rocky Balboa. Potato Gamer 125 asks, what's the furthest you've gone for, or most you've spent on a single pop? Tails and Lamreta, $100 each. Call me crazy, I know. The Man 123 asks, who's your favorite Funko YouTuber besides yourself? I wouldn't really say I like myself, that's just being completely egotistical and biased. I definitely love watching Collecting Plastic, P2 Vision, and Cletus Selden. Those are like my 3 top favorites right there. Bone Daddy Jelly Kid asks, I have 2 questions. Number 1, what's your favorite video game? And number 2, what's the best looking pop in your opinion? Like, its design and paint. My favorite video game is debatable, because I'm always like changing it. But I would have to say, I'll say this, my favorite video game of last year was definitely Night in the Woods. It's a fantastic storytelling experience, fun characters, deep story, very, very good stuff. It's on Steam. Check it out. I highly recommend it. For best looking pop in my collection in terms of design, I recently got this Diva the other day for my birthday, and I really dig it. I don't know if it's like my absolute favorite when it comes to design, but this is definitely one of the ones out there. It's either this or the Balrog for sure. Although there's just so many. I mean, this T-Ka, for instance, is just absolutely fantastic as well. There's a lot to choose from. Spooky Dwarf Shazam asks, what is your favorite DC or Marvel superhero? For DC, I'd probably have to say maybe Superman, because... or maybe Batman, I don't know. It's kind of debatable. I like DC, but I'm just not into it as much as Marvel. So, with that said, when it comes to Marvel, probably either Thor or Iron Man. It's kind of in between for those two. From JV, we got 2 questions as well. Number 1, if you were limited to collecting only one series of Funko Pops, from what series would they be from? And number 2, have you had any bad experiences from either buying Funko Pops in store or locally through others in your community? If I was limited to collecting only one series of Funko Pops, it would definitely be Disney, because, you know, I have a soft spot for it, especially since I've gotten into animation a lot. So I'd say maybe pretty much Disney, yeah. I mean, Disney just pretty much just spans all of this. It's probably my biggest collection for sure. So maybe Disney. Bad experiences from buying in store? Not really, particularly. I mean, there was this one instance in Florida where I bought 2 Pops and I went back to my hotel room and I opened them up and both of them were messed up. It was Daggett and Carla from Fairy Tail. Carla's waist was completely split in half, and Daggett's nose was like breaking off at the end. So then I wanted to rush back in time because my uncle and my father were out for the majority of the day. We went home. We went back to the mall kind of late, and by the time I got there, the stores were closed, and I couldn't get my receipt in time to return them, and it was just a big whole deal. It was annoying, but I ended up fixing them and selling them. That one Funko fan asks, "What's your go of Funko? Which merch do you like, besides Pops and Vinyls? And also any plans for the future?" My goal for Funko is just to keep on collecting and see where it takes me, because right now it's grown to an impressive rate. I had no idea I would ever get this far in life when it comes to this stuff, so I'm just really impressed with how everything turned out. Other merch I like besides Pops and Vinyls, I do like posters. I like trading cards and stuff like that, and like I said, I like to collect a whole bunch of movies too, so there's a whole bunch of other things I like to collect of things from things I like. I also like shirts too. I haven't been buying shirts as much as recently, but I do like the shirts. And plans for the future? Not sure. Like I said, I just want to keep on going and see where it takes me. I'm really happy for everyone all watching, so I'm going to keep on making videos as long as Funko keeps releasing things that I like. Indiana Jones, Federnava, says, have you ever gotten into a fight because of collecting? And if you had to sell all your Pops except for one, which one would you keep? I've never gotten into any fights whatsoever with anybody because I'm usually a very nice guy, and I was lucky enough to never get into a fight or initiate one because there's no reason to. Why would you need to fight over little plastic vinyl figures? And if I had to sell all my Pops, and I know this is going to sound absolutely crazy, but if I had to absolutely sell all my Pops for whatever reason, but I was only allowed to keep one, Jodie. She was the one that started everything for it, so that alone makes it like the most special one. I'm probably crazy for just saying a little rabbit is the only one I keep out of all of this. The last question on Amino, here we go. From Tyler Joseph, Kenzie asks, if you could have any Pop you wanted for free, which one would it be? Rocky Balboa. Unfortunately, we only got like 2 questions on YouTube, so let's just throw those in there. Why not? Some random kid asks, what made you interested in Funko Pops? I explained the story before, but I'll say it quickly again. June 2016, after I graduated, I had a whole bunch of money left over for my graduation party, and I wanted to decorate my room, my side room here, with merchandise that I like. So I got a bunch of plushes, some little amiibos, posters, and whatnot. And then I came across Funko Pops on eBay. Initially I didn't like them because I wasn't a big fan of bobbleheads, but then I realized that they weren't bobbleheads, they were just little vinyl figures. I saw Judy and I saw Rapunzel, and already I was hooked, so I bought both. Judy unfortunately got lost in the mail, came destroyed. Well, it didn't come at all. The seller told me it was destroyed in the warehouse, which... what? But Rapunzel came in the mail, and she ended up being the first one I held in my hands, and from that day forward, that's how it all started. Regular Josh1 asks, how do you keep up with the latest pops? I follow Funko Finders and Pop Curated on Instagram. They always notify anyone whenever new stuff gets released, or when stuff goes live, available to buy right now. And yeah, that's how I usually keep up with the latest stuff. And of course, I take snapshots and I incorporate them into posts that I post on the Amino, so that others are aware of it as well. There's also a team of news people that also do the same thing, and as long with everybody else, they all follow these people on Instagram so that they can get the latest updates, so they don't miss out and cry and weep. Like me sometimes. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's all the questions that we had available to answer. I want to thank everyone for submitting questions. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for contributing, and I really am grateful to have all of you watching. So thank you all for so much for watching this long-ass video, and I'll do another Q&A, and who knows how long it'll be from now. Maybe another year? I don't know. But that's it. See you guys in the next video.